What's up everyone? Time for a review of the third and highly anticipated new record from post-hardcore group Falling in Reverse. This one is titled Just Like You. Don't forget to check me out on all of my social media sites. The links are in the description down below. Follow me there. Make sure you don't ever miss anything. And of course, if you would like to donate to the channel, like to help the videos keep coming on a more regular basis, you can click that top link. It'll take you over to the channel and just click support in the top right hand corner. It's not exactly a secret that I was not a fan of the band's last full-length project, Fashionably Late. It was kind of all over the place, incorporated a lot of different sounds, and I feel like it's one of those albums that you just either kind of loved or kind of hated, and you know which side of the fence I was on. I just wasn't into hearing Ronnie Radke rap and brag all over the place, which is why it's nice to see them coming back and kind of ditching that style and coming back with an almost metal-leaning approach. There's some really good post-hardcore tracks on this thing. Of course, lead guitarist Jackie Vincent really getting a chance to shine on this thing. He plays some really cool licks here. Guitar solo nearly every single track on Just Like You. I know you're probably thinking that that sounds pretty dull and formulaic to do it on every single track, but honestly he mixes it up enough, on most tracks that is, to the point where it's actually entertaining, it's fun to listen to, even whenever he's playing the breakdowns on tracks like The Guillotine Part 4. I don't exactly care for tracks like Sexy Drug, wherever Ronnie Radke's lyrics and his antics kind of get a little bit too far-fetched for me, but for the most part, Falling in Reverse have delivered with a pretty solid and somewhat down-to-earth record that should be pleasing fans of the band and the genre. The first piece of the puzzle that we got here is God If You Are Above, which saw Ronnie Radke questioning some things in his life. He's obviously dealt with the loss of a brother, the loss of some other things. Of course, Brother got its own song, the closing track on this record, but we'll get to that one in a minute. John then freeze-framed because he realized he had completely forgotten to talk about the track Brother. Well, it's a solid closer. It's pretty somber. Of course, it's pretty chilling if you know the situation. His brother was killed in a motorcycle wreck shortly after the last album came out in 2013. But I can't say that it's particularly effective on me. Maybe I need to know more about the situation. I mean, it's sad and all, but at the same time, not one of my favorites on this record, but I'm sure it's going to resonate with a lot of people who have dealt with loss. We kick things off with the fierce rocker Chemical Prisoner, which is actually my favorite track here on this record. I think the production here is really nice because it lets all of the instruments kind of get a full sound. I felt like they were kind of compressed on their last record, Fashionably Late. Obviously, if we were hearing a lot of electronics, that was at the forefront and nothing else was really getting any attention. Or if the guitar was on a track, we were just kind of hearing that, no bass, where are the drums, etc. They all bleed through here on this track and they're sounding more 90s than ever. I'm loving those influences that they're incorporating here on this one. The solo on the track speaks for itself. Just listen to that thing, it's a monster. Like I said, Radke has lost several different friends and of course a family member since their last album Fashionably Late came out in June of 2013, I believe it was. So I think that this definitely, as a result of those deaths and some other losses in his life, has resulted in a much more personal record lyrically on a lot of these tracks. I've given Radke plenty of shit over the years for being a total asshole, and what do you know, he actually owns up to it on the title track, Just Like You. He explains that he's just a normal guy that happens to be famous, and as a result it puts his life under a lot more scrutiny than a normal person's, and of course everybody's following him on Twitter, wondering what he's doing, following his every move, questioning everything he says. Does it make it okay for him to be an asshole? No, that's not necessarily what I'm defending, but hey, at least he's aware of it. Plus, this song is catchy as hell, and the intro to this song is honestly pretty perfect. These guys know how to transition from verse to chorus effortlessly at this point, pumping out an album full of memorable choruses once again, from the early days of Escape the Fate all the way up until now with Falling in Reverse. If there's one thing that I will always give Ronnie Radke for, at least up to this point, it's for his knack for writing a hook, because he's got hooks on hooks on hooks. I'm satisfied with the balance between clean and screamed vocals here on this thing, and of course, well, the lack of rapping. Of course, Wait and See kind of has that more spoken word styled rap, like something from The Drug in Me Is You. I'm thinking of the song Pick Up the Phone. He kind of mimics that style, but of course gets a lot more political with this track. I like the fusion of genres that this song kind of presents. It gets a little bit weird, a little bit experimental in terms of the electronics, but it gets a little bit heavier in its chorus and its latter half, and it's nice to see them throwing something else in there. I thought that this was just going to be a record of them returning to post-hardcore and trying to imitate the sound that they found on The Drug in Me Is You, but that is not the case at all. I mean, some of the tracks do sound similar, but of course it's Ronnie Radke. His voice is very, very unique and very instantly recognizable, I would say, so it's only natural that some of these songs would sound at least a little bit familiar. But as I was saying, Wait and See kind of gets a little bit more political. It sees Radke weighing in on things that I did not think I would be hearing about on a Falling in Reverse record. So we're getting something fresh, and I gotta say, I'm impressed. The band attempts to put a nail in the coffin of the Guillotine series here on Just Like You. It started all the way back in 2006 whenever Radke was still with Escape the Fate, and of course that band churned out 2 more of them after Radke departed. It looks as if this is pretty much Radke's way of saying, hey look, I started this, I'm gonna finish it here on this one. I'm easily way more into this Guillotine than I was with the last Escape the Fate version. Even if this one is a little bit chaotic, a little bit unbalanced, there's a pretty brutal breakdown on this thing that just kind of gets out of control. Hey, did someone say brutal? Please stop coming in every single time I say the word brutal. I had my name legally changed to XX Brutal Swag 69XX after the last Attila record came out, and I think you should leave. Well, so there's some tracks in the middle of this record that just kind of leave me hoping for more, or else kind of rolling my eyes. The Bitter End is one of those tracks that attempts to be kind of punishing, a little bit menacing, or whatever they're going for, and Get Me Out kind of feels like a desperate attempt to relate to the teenage fans. I mean, seriously, I'm pretty sure it's been more than 10 years since any of the members of this band have been in high school. So there are some tracks that I'm just not feeling. There's some that I feel are kind of throwaway and skippable tracks in the middle of this record, but getting back to the positive side of the spectrum, gotta throw some praise at the track Stay Away. It's a surprisingly kind of fierce tune that I didn't really expect. It kind of came around on me, snuck up on me, if you will. I didn't see it as a favorite right off the bat, but now I think that's changing. It's hard-hitting, but it's melodic enough to get stuck in your head for days. It's a little bit weird to me that I'm digging this one as much as I am, but hey, at the end of the day, I guess we like what we like, right? Opinions. I'm really surprised at how much I'm liking Just Like You. It's a pretty gripping record that throws in enough twists and turns to keep things interesting the majority of the time. I don't think that this is going to be one that I necessarily turn to time and time again, but then again, who knows? For me, Falling in Reverse's new record is a 3.5 out of 5. I would even go as far as to say light 4 on this one. So now that you've heard my thoughts on the Falling in Reverse record, let me know yours in the comments section down below. And while you're down there, how about smashing the like button on the video and subscribing to the channel? It really lets me know that you love me, and you guys love me, right? And of course, if there's any other reviews that you'd like to see me tackle, let me know those in the comments section down below, and I will see you very soon right here on ARTV. Thanks for watching.